Hey yogis, let's start by getting in touch with ourselves. You can take a seat. Find any natural little adjustments that your body is craving before you feel like you can settle. And then resting the hands in your lap, closing eyes and bowing the chin subtly. Tune into yourself. Notice any obstruction to your breath. Can your breath be fuller and easier? Notice if any judgments come up about yourself. Is there anything you feel kind of unhappy with? Something that perhaps doesn't measure up? If so, let's shed light on those places, those thoughts. And imagine yourself as divinity. Know that you are perfect and whole exactly as you are, radiant, beautiful, powerful, strong. Soften at Mula Bandha for now. So the pelvic floor releases, even almost drops. Let's pull a prayer right into the third eye. And I'll encourage you to set this intention today. It is feel deeply. Feel deeply and never do a violence against yourself. Heed your inner guide in all moments. And be liberated enough to choose you at every juncture. Let's lift the head. Take a palm onto your chest and the other palm on your chest to connect in vibration. Emptying first. Filling up. If you're not on your heels, come onto your heels. Take the backs of the hands together and round yourself to empty really radically. You can even sway side to side to empty all breath. With your inhale, send the ribs forward, shoulders open, arms pour wide, lift your chest. And then do that again. Backs of the hands together, reaching and rounding, even the tail tucks. How empty can you become? You might have to rock to make that happen. Start spilling the ribs forward as you open these arms. Shoulders draw back as you present your heart upward. Breathing in. Exhale, let's dive onto fingertips. Get even emptier with your cat shape. Let's while out a little bit. So just be your animal self, making some movements to feel around. Shift into a back bend, but look up and over the left shoulder, arching. Let's savor this for a little while. Imagine spilling the pelvic bowl farther forward. And again, empty. Push the ground. Sway gently. Find the pieces of you that could use this stretch, this lubrication. When you're ready for cow, find the arching. Look up and over that right shoulder. Try to bend at the mid-back. Breathing. Last time, now let's push the ground away, empty out, tuck the chin a lot. Then plant your palms, you'll roll over to this right knee. We're just gonna lift the left knee up and you'll be on the ball of your foot. You can just play around with this left arm, play around with how deeply you open that left knee. Let's breathe into this for a while. It's like we're unearthing ancient spots. Spots of stagnation. Roll through all fours, rock onto the left knee, open the right knee wide. You can be on the ball of your foot once again. Explore with the right arm. Subtle movement to find those hubs. Collected energy that hasn't seen light in a while. It's breathing to it. Then roll back onto all fours. Tuck your toes. Push your seat back. Lift the knees, and you're going to split your knees. You're going to sway and twist the hips left and right. Looking for places in the low back or in the hip region to breathe to and make room in. Remain intimate with your own feeling sensations. And then walk your hands back, split your feet a little wider, and come on into Malasana. If possible, your heels are on the ground. Let's bow down for this one. You can even take your hands behind your head and pull your chin down. Can you make the sheath longer from the tailbone to the base of your skull? And we're going to straighten the legs as we pour the torso over them. Parallel the feet, and you can keep the knees bent for a little while if you like. Rock the head. Straightening at the right leg. And then straightening at the left leg. The right knee can bend. Straighten both legs, pop onto fingertips at the floor or perhaps the shins. Let's pause with a halfway lift, rolling the sits bones a little higher. Can you get broad through the collarbones, even lifted at your heart? Breathe in. And then exhale, hinge forward, come all the way down, get empty. Let's do that again. Inhale to half lift, almost like you could back bend in this position, lifting the heart, filling up. And then exhale, bow down with it once again. Take your flat back and fingertips, this time lifting the right set of toes, trying to find the calf or even the Achilles. And then set that down, lift the left set of toes, keep the legs straight, try to find your calf. And then set those toes down. Let's walk our hands to the top. We'll find downward facing dog. Claws for hands. Make the armpits long. Draw the front ribs in. Long neck. Up on toes, bend your knees and send the seat way off to the right. You can even shorten your dog a little bit, drawing the hands in closer and exaggerate this. So coming really low, like almost like you're playing with it at the level of a squat. Up and over to the other side, deeply bent knees. Spread the seat. Let it have ultimate freedom, even into the side bodies. Strong arms. Back at center, reposition your dog. Feel into the legs a little bit, so sweep that right leg high. We'll spread the toes. Stay long and strong through the knee. And roll the toes up to the sky. External rotation up there. How open can that leg get, feeling like a middle split? You can circle it a few times. Keep the leg long and strong as you slowly guide it to the top of your mat. Place the foot, set the back knee down. Let the hips sink forward. We'll keep right hand on earth or a block. You'll send this left arm forward and gently to the right. As though the hip flexor were an accessory muscle to breathing. Let's make room. Lifting on the right heel. Roll the heart open. Gazing up underneath the tricep. Giant breaths. And let's come on and down. Hands plant, tuck the back toes, step to downward facing dog again. Exhale. Glide the left leg up high behind. We'll spread those toes. Leg is long and powerful. Once you're at the top, try spinning the toes to the left or even up, kind of like a middle split. Find more work or engagement up there. We'll make some circles. Keep the leg long and strong as you guide it to the top of the mat. Feeling every piece of this. Set the back knee down. Allow the hips to shift forward. Left hand stays on the floor or on a block. Right arm reaches forward. And then subtly left. Like we're just trying to breathe bigger. And lift that left heel. Start spinning the chest to the right. Look up underneath the tricep. Continue giant breathing. And then look down, plant your hands, tuck the back toes, make your way to downward facing dog. And then wave forward to the top of a push-up. Imagine this, as you lower, you're pushing the ground away. Slight dome of the upper back as the heart moves forward, and you'll take it slowly all the way to earth. Untuck the toes, prop onto fingertips, shoulders back as you lift for cobra. Squeezing the blades together today. Squeeze the seat. Without urgency, let's breathe to it. Come gently down a little bit, only halfway, because you'll bend that right knee. Look over the left shoulder to see the toes. Re-extend, and then bend the left knee. Look over the right shoulder, see your toes. And then re-extend. Come all the way down. Push onto the knees, grab the mat edge in front of you, and with sits bones high, we'll try to get the armpits to touch the ground.
And even slide a little forward and back, trying to smush the sternum or the upper chest even onto the ground. Sits bones reaching higher and higher. And then walk your hands in really, really close. We'll sit all the way on the heels. Send the arms open and a little twist to the left. Left finger's behind you. Right arm reaches up and back. If you like, you can try to bend that elbow, even grabbing and hooking underneath that left armpit crease. If that's not working today, find an angle that opens you. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Let's savor for a while. And then through center, let's get backs of the hands together, round everything, tuck the tail exaggeratedly. We'll sway left and right as a counter pose. Let's break apart the fascia at the lower back in particular. Arrive to that neutral spine position. Open the arms, take a little twist to the right. Right fingers land on the ground, left arm reaches up and back. This could be perfect. If you want it, bend the knee, the elbow. You might even be able to pinch underneath that right arm. Wherever we are, we open the top ribs and breathe to them. And then come back into center, relax the arms. We'll dive these hands forward. And we'll take it to downward facing dog, but with a twist. We're going to keep the knees bent really, really, really deeply. So it's actually almost like a child's pose with your knees off the ground. Just relax the head and sway the hips side to side. Find that downward facing dog. Now a slight bend in the knees. Rock the hips to the right. Push the arms. Through center. Hips go all the way left. Let your booty be free. Push the ground hard through left palm. Back through dog. Spread your right toes and slide that leg long and strong upward. Roll the toes outward or even upward like you're flirting with wide legs. Make some circles to feel that right outer hip if you can. Keep the leg long and strong as you circle it wide, and then take that foot between your hands. Settle the back knee down Right fingers stay or move to a block. Left arm reaches forward and now farther off to the side than it was before. Catch some exploration. And then circle down to frame the foot. Let's extend the right leg. Reach far through that left arm especially. And as you fold, you might want to sway the hips right and left. Just looking for space, more space in this body. Come halfway up, slide this left hand right underneath your shoulder. Left foot swings to the left because we're going to take a side plank style of pose, grabbing yogi toe hold of the right toes. Swing that leg open to the side. Maybe you're staying here today, or see if you can get that leg higher and higher, ultimately gazing up. Stay long in the back. If you'd like to explore, you could even draw the head back, finding back bend and heart opening with this. We'll breathe. And then with control, we'll guide the right foot to the top of the mat. Tuck the back toes, settle that heel down. Right hand to the outside of right foot as you create side angle. Left arm reaching across. Let's get super buoyant through that right leg. The heel pushes hard, and you can even just take hold of your right calf, taking some of the weight out of that right hand. What's that right hip doing? Does it feel strong? Feel free to shift and bounce in it. Big breathing. Let's circle this top arm as we create Trikonasana. Right hand could even hover. Complete in the breathing. Get empty. Inhale up to tall. Clap the palms together, parallel through your feet. Look up. And then exhale, open the arms wide as you take a dive down. Folding with it. Then you'll come on to fingertips, get a little extra length at the back. Spread through the collarbones. And exhale, fold deeply down. Come on up to flat. Place your elbows down and interlace your fingers. Place the head on the ground. And I'll invite you into headstand if that's in your practice, but I'll give you options if you don't do headstand. And that is to be rocking onto toes. See what it's like to push weight into your forearms and elbows. If you're coming up to headstand, anything goes. Perhaps you can keep the legs open wide. Or even get the balls of the feet together, play with your side body, taking that right knee down. And then the left knee. Lowering back into flat or even a little back bend feeling. Pivot over to frame your right foot. This time we'll sweep the right leg behind so it just hovers as you take the chest forward, push the ground away even as you lower. Lift up to up dog with a bend in this right knee, pulsing to lift the toes a few times. Back to downward facing dog. Spread your left toes and slide that leg so strong upward. Roll the toes out or even up like it's wide legs. You can even circle or pulse. Try to find the strength at that outer hip. And keep that leg wide as you glide it all the way up. Step it between your hands. Settle the back knee down. Hips shift forward, left hand stays or moves to a block. Right arm will reach forward and over to the left, but more deeply left than you did it on the first side. It's like a deep clean, sweeping all the cobwebby corners. Letting the light in. And breath is the tool. And then circle down. Frame this foot and we'll extend the left leg. You can reach toward the top of the mat, especially with that right arm. So it's almost like you're twisted a little left. Looking for all the room on the outside of the hip, through the low back, wherever you feel this. Keep elongating the breath. If you like to sway left and right, go ahead. And come halfway up, slide the right hand right underneath your shoulder. Grab yogi toe hold, these left toes. Right foot moves into kickstand position as you open just kind of halfway. Pause right there, see how it feels. If you want to keep going, keep going. Left leg reaches to the sky, long spine, look up. This is a good place for Uddiyana Bandha. Hug the ab wall back to catch more length in the spine. If you want to play with it, it could even be a bit of a back bend. Draw the head back, open the chest. neutral back, guide your left foot to the top of the mat. With control, we'll bend that knee, tuck the back toes, lift the knee to settle the heel down. Left fingers stay on the ground, right arm reaches across. You're going to push hard through the left foot so you feel the shift in your left hip. If you want to emphasize that farther, grab somewhere on this left shin. You can even slowly, mindfully bounce a little bit. Just experience a new feeling in the left hip. And then we'll circle this top arm as we straighten the leg to Trikonasana. You might even hover that left hand now. Stay long in the back. Connected breathing. Get empty. Inhale all the way up, reach up. Parallel through feet, and then actually we'll send the toes out pretty wide, about 45 degree angle. And finding goddess position, so send the knees super wide. You're going to come down so low you actually place your hands right on the tops of your feet and pulse the knees out wide a few times. Keep the heart lifted as you squeeze heels together and stand right back up. Cross the backs of the hands together, send the seat forward and rock it around. Let's do that again. Come down low, bend the knees. Okay, you can rest the hands on thighs, or if you're able, get so low, hands touch the feet. Pulse the knees wide, keep the heart lifted. Squeeze feet, stand up, reach up, backs of the hands together. Squeeze the bum, send it forward and rock around a little. This time parallel the feet, interlace fingers low behind you. Lift the chest, we won't skip this part. You can even look up and back. And then fold it forward. Okay, stay low, come up just about a foot so you can let your hands down. And then fold over this right leg. Give it a hug. You might even want to rock the hips left and right. And then fold over the left leg. Same thing, you could rock the hips left and right. And up through center, let's stay on the fingertips, right fingers in the middle. Can you experience just a slight back bend here? And you might need blocks to get that sensation, release the energy of it. I'm going to slide this left arm up, finding sail. Stay long in the back as you breathe. Maybe you can pulse that left blade back a few times. And then exhale, full down through the middle. Come on up through center, fingertips land, left fingers in the middle, or perhaps on a block. Get extra long in the back, almost like you're back bending, and then roll the right arm to the sky. Finding freedom in the twist if you can. Maybe you can pulse the right blade back a few times. And then exhale, fold down. Let's come on to elbows or forearms. So I'm going to cue another inversion, this time forearm stand or forearm stand prep. If you would prefer headstand, that is absolutely fine. Okay. So in forearm stand, we can rock onto toes and then rock back, rock onto toes, and then rock back. If you're newer to it and want to play with it, you could hop up and try clapping your feet. Okay. Or bring it to a wall and practice Pincha Mayurasana. Otherwise, hop up, float up, do what you do, and make any shapes that feel divine for you today. And then come slowly out. You're changing the subject soon, but for now, let's pivot around, frame your left foot, and stay with it. Send the left leg back until it hovers. Send the chest forward, push the ground away even as you lower. Come up to up dog, but bend this left knee. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Some of you can take puppy right from here, pressing the chest or the throat down to the earth. If that is just no way, no how, send your knees down, come back to puppy. You could even vary it this time by taking your hands onto blocks. Keeping the elbows straight. And then we'll all walk the hands back with knees on earth. Get yourself to child's pose. Split the knees. Can feel great to shift the hips a little left and right. Walk your hands to the left. Might be pretty far today. We've done a lot in the side body already. Walk over to the right. And then through the center. Let's round the back as we roll up and climb up onto knees. Okay. tuck your tail a little bit. Squeeze the seat, send it forward. Hug the belly in. Sit up tall through the ribs. You'll twist to the left, tuck the toes, and take hold of this left heel. If you like, it can remain this side body opening, or it could become a camel exploration, lifting the heart, sending the right arm wide. Some of you will just naturally grab that right heel as well. Let's be with it for a little while. And then come up, sit on the heels. Reach the arms forward, round everything you can, and rock a little bit. So I'm looking to totally counterpose in the lower back, and I can actually feel the muscle and fascia that's kind of overworked or a little tight. And just by wiggling around, there's so much freedom, so much relief. All right, back to center. Climbing up onto knees. Once again, draw the tail down, send it forward, lift your heart. Take a twist to the right, tucking the toes, reach back for right heel. Now this could be a side body exploration, but I'd love for you to notice the moment where your side body becomes a back bend. So opening the heart. Some of you will naturally find camel. You could even walk your hands up to your shins or the backs of your knees in that case. I'll give you a little time to explore. And then come out from it, taking hands to earth. Let's while out at cat pose again. More angles, the better, really. All right, move from your cat all the way up to the knees. But we'll take hands to earth. I'm going to encourage you to hop through or glide through. So if you don't do this too often, you could be dragging your knees forward, crossing your ankles at the last minute, getting through any way you can. It's all perfectly good. Let's roll the femur bones out, draw the soles of the feet together. Keep a 90-degree angle in each leg, so it's like a Tarasana. Let's send the seat bones out. Okay, work on spilling the pelvic bowl forward. That could be enough work right here. But some of you are open, very open. You'll want to tip forward. Find the ojas where it lives for you, that sweet nectar. I'm going to give you a fun self-adjustment, and that is just to take your fingers onto the back of your neck and shoulders. It's like the top of your back. And you're just going to grip and try to pull up. So it's like you're actually lengthening everything in your back. And when I do this, I can feel it all the way behind the pelvis. See where you can feel.
climb up. I'm going to play with Titibasana from here. So I'm going to cue it in a seated position, but just so you know, seated can be harder than like a standing forward fold. So if you're newer to this arm balance, you consider lifting your butt right off the ground and coming in basically the same way I'm going to cue from the butt. So I'm just going to try to get this right leg super high in the arm or shoulder. Left leg super high in the arm or shoulder, just doing the best we can. Planting hands out in front of the hips. You might need to rock a few times, see if you can just lift your butt. And then I'm going to cue Bhuja Pirasana, that shoulder pressure pose first, so lift the seat and cross the ankles. Once you're in nice and tight, if you want to play with Titibasana, we'll do it two ways. First way is extend the legs, and then lift the bum. Okay, so bum and feet are in the same position. For 3, 2, 1, and then lower the bum. Extend the legs, try to keep the arms straight and lift your chest, gaze forward. Do your best to lift those toes to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Let's come back to where it was. Bend the right knee and take the left knee back into flying pigeon. Or this is grasshopper or something. I'll remember it later. Flying lizard, that's what it is. Pulsing up. All right, and let's come on down, take rest in between the sides. So you'll actually make deer shapes. So this right knee is bent in a 90-degree angle. Left knee bent in a 90-degree angle. Sit tall, face the right knee, and fold. The last few breaths, I find it's helpful to press the chest onto the shin. Even find like a tiny little twist to the right if you can. It'll intensify it. And then come up, face where you were. Let's lift the knees and just shift them to the other side. Sitting tall, face the left knee or shin bone, and fold toward it. Encouraging the heart to slow before we attempt that second side, and really the same sequence. You want to go a little deeper for the last several rounds of breath. You can press your chest a little closer to the ankle. Finding a tiny twist to the left, even if it's just the energy of it. A few breaths. And then come up, come back to where you were, rock the knees left and right. Okay. And we start the whole sequence again. So come onto your seat, lift one leg onto one shoulder, other leg onto the other shoulder. Maybe you can get even higher and tighter this time. Plant your hands, find Bhuja Pirasana, lock up the feet. Then extend, feet in line with hips for 3, 2, 1, and lower the hips,
Send the toes high, extend through the knees powerfully for 3, 2, 1. Back to where it was. Bend this left knee, point the toes back, send the chest forward as you send the right knee up to the heavens for 3, 2, 1. And then set it down. You can find that deer pose shape again, but we're not going to stay. Rock the knees a little left and right. And then make your way back comfortably on to the mat. So I want to cue some back bending as we close up here. Pulling the heels close. If it's okay in your body, send the seat up and then point the knees really far forward. Just reach your arms up, looking for space, the low belly, the quads, and the hip flexors especially. Spend some time. Could even point the knees left and right. Now, if you're feeling good, you can take hold of your heels, send the elbows down, and lift your chin for this version of a fish. But if you don't like that, just slide your butt all the way down, extend the legs, and do the same thing with fish with a more reasonable knee positioning. Let's find it. Some of you will turn this right into wheel. Others come out, recover, find a back bend that suits you. Perhaps it's bridge today, trying to get the seat up even higher than usual. Strong legs, long arms, relaxed neck. And you'll stand up or tuck the chin, lie back down. Let's keep the sacrum firm on earth. Lower back is heavy as you pull the knees into outer ribs and rock left and right. All right. Back bends coming up. So if you know you're not into that, you could freestyle for now. Or take back bends that really, really suit your body. But if you're feeling good, healthy, strong, and limber, and you want to play with these, they're kind of challenging, which is why I give the heads up. So I'm going to try send the knees forward again. This time, I'll actually untuck the toes. So you can get there any way that makes sense. Butt's on the heels, low back is lifted off of earth. I'm going to take the mat edges near my shoulders and try to push my head up closer to my feet. So you see this is Kapotasana practice, although I'm just trying to feel into what angles feel great today, not necessarily create any pinnacle shape. If you get in that far, take your hands a little closer and straighten your arms again. Play with it until you don't want to play with it anymore. If you got the juice, send yourself back up camel style, and then set the butt down. Give yourself child's or even rabbit, where you grab the heels, tuck your chin. And I'm actually going to go into a embryonic kind of shape with shoulder stand, taking the knees alongside ears. Give myself a big squeeze. I can't imagine a spine position that allows more deep flexion and more deep rounding. Okay, let's slowly lower back onto the ground. The legs come in close to your body. Imagine this were a forward fold, and we're going to do it two ways. First, you stamp the lowest part of your back firmly on the ground. See if you can reach your legs and pull in. Okay. You might not feel that flexible in this position, but that is okay. You're just finding the opening that works. Keep the low back heavy. You can be splitting the legs a little if that feels good. And then try it this way. Allow the sacrum to lift. So you're rounding at the low back. Now your legs probably get in a little closer. It's a bit of a cheat if I am being honest, but that's okay. Let's experience the freedom of this. And then having experienced it, let's just slowly lower the low back onto the ground again. See what we can gain. And then once here, open the legs out wide. Take your hands to the inner thighs. You can steer them around. You can focus on one side and then the other. Do what will help you. Another thing to do is pulse the legs open. And then close the legs off to the left side. Keep the spine long, in fact, get it long. Open the right blade onto earth and can gaze up or to the right. Let's breathe. Start letting go. If you had any bandhas, any lower locks engaged, let them loose now. Releasing breath control. Open the legs again, and then close them off. Left leg stacks on the right. It's worth sitting up to get extra long in your back. And opening that left blade down and gazing up or to the left is good. Soften the jaw and the lips and the eyes. Open the legs one last time and then close them off. And you can rock to sit all the way up. So before we find our Savasana, I'm actually going to cue some Pranayama today and then a brief meditation just to really have a complete feeling sadhana. I know we've gone over, of course, so if you'd like to head right into your Savasana, of course do. You're worth it. Take some time to get the seat that feels best for you. And focus on the sound of the breath coming in and out. And we'll move into a Nadi Shodhana, nerve cleansing pranayama. So taking the right hand into Spock hands, basically. You'll be closing off with the right thumb and then closing off the left nostrils with the ring finger. Okay, so first close off the right and we're going to exhale through the left.
Inhale through the left. Close and exhale right. Inhale right. Close and exhale left. Inhale left. Close and exhale right. Inhale right. Close and exhale left. Inhaling left, take over the count that feels most satisfying to you. Finish up a full cycle on both sides, no rush. And when you are finished, release both hands onto your knees with eyes closed. Bring the gaze to the third eye center, focal point of wisdom, inner knowing, inner divinity. Feel free to keep your meditation seat or to recline in our Savasana. When you're ready, you might even just start by squeezing your seat. Rock your hips left and right. Reach up and stretch. Roll to one side and maybe right onto the other side. And back over or up. So glad you are here, yogi. So wonderful that you've tended to yourself. Keep it up. And let's just take hands onto the heart and bowing the chin. Make a commitment today to continuing to feel intimately inward. Again, never doing a violence against yourself. Staying true to your innermost callings. Gratitude to you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Be well.